and welcome back to the kitchen. We are in here seed starting today. I'm super excited about this. I'm going to be starting a few houseplants from seed, which is just a fun, interesting experiment. I've never grown houseplants from seed. I've always just bought my houseplants at the garden center in nice big, pots or little small pots, whatever they grow in. But I found some houseplant seeds as I was seed shopping, and I figured, why not give it a try? Today I'm going to be starting some of my January seeds for the garden. If you want to see more about that, I'll link that video. But I thought, while I'm doing it, why not try to get some houseplants going? I'm all about houseplants right now, so let's start a few from seed. There's a lot of really fun varieties that you can find available. One of them is Cactus. I love Cactus. They're such an easy houseplant. They're so cute. Just fun plant all around. And I found this mix, Cactus mix seeds. So I have not found a lot of individual varieties of cactus. If you know of any, definitely let me know in the comments. But usually for seeds, I find that the cactus just come in mixes like this. There's a bunch of different seed companies that have cactus mix seeds. Mine are from Pine Tree Seeds, but Baker Creek has one, and a bunch of other different companies. So I'm gonna do 3 cactus. I wanna get started 3, and I'm just gonna kind of see what I get. I'm not really being super picky about this. It's just gonna be more for the experiment and for the fun. So I'll just see what we get. That's kind of part of the fun with mixes. I actually have gotten really into seed mixes lately. This last year I started one that was like a pink flower seed mix outdoors, and it was just fun to see what is gonna grow in it. You never quite know what's gonna take off, what's not. And so I thought it'd be cool to do a cactus mix too and just see what happens. Then I found, and I was super excited, and this kind of kicked off my whole starting houseplants from seed idea, I found seeds for polka dot plant. So you can grow these as an annual, like for an outdoor annual flower kind of plant. I don't think they actually flower. I think it's just for the foliage mostly, but you could do it as an annual in the garden. But polka dot plant is also a really great house plant. I've definitely, you see these every garden center, you see these at the grocery store. They're super common, and how cool that you can start them from seed. So I am going to do 3 plants. I'm gonna limit myself just to 3. I got the Splash Select White. I believe they also had the pink. So if you like that look of the pink polka dot plants, which I love those too, those are gorgeous. You can also get seeds for the pink polka dots. Then I saw coffee seeds. I'm so excited to see what happens with these. This is like a full-on bush. So if you live in zones, I think it's 11 to 13, you could actually grow this outside and have a coffee bush and probably harvest coffee. It gets to be about a 3 to 5 foot bush. So it's a pretty big plant, but you can do it as a house plant. It's definitely an option, and I just thought it'd be interesting to grow it and see what happens. After 3 or 4 years, they produce coffee fruit. So this one I'm gonna have to keep going for a while if I actually want to get coffee, and I'm definitely not expecting to get my own coffee. I don't think I would even know what to do as far as roasting the beans and all of that. For me, this is definitely just houseplant fun, but a super, super cool thing. This has 5 seeds in here, so I'm gonna do, I think 2, and then if those don't go well, I'll reevaluate and resow some more. Then I'm going to start some bananas. I talked about these bananas more in my January seed starting video, but I thought I would just mention it because they do kind of fall in that category of a house plant. You can definitely keep bananas in the house as a house plant. So I just thought I'd mention that I'm gonna start these today, and I'm so excited to see how these turn out as well. And then I picked up 2 other seeds out of my collection that are not really technically houseplants, but we see them a lot and they're a fun thing to grow in the winter, and that's basil. You can grow basil on your counter and have a quick harvest of herbs throughout the winter. It's a super fun thing to do if you're itching to get something started and you want a little bit of like food production slash pretty. It kind of could be a houseplant. I would definitely consider basil pretty enough to be a houseplant. You could do some basil. So I'm gonna do a Genovese Red Freddy. I like this basil. It's just a nice kind of like that, you know, Genovese style basil. Super, super good for cooking, and a really pretty red color. Just gonna be lovely to have as one of my house plants. And I'm gonna do a Greek dwarf basil because these are really great for containers. It's a much, much smaller plant. It's very compact, has a really nice flavor still too, and it's a really wonderful basil to use in cooking, but it's just a smaller plant, so I know this one is going to be very happy in a container, and so that's nice. My basil is kind of my little insurance policy. Like, if none of the other houseplants grow at all, at least we know the basil is gonna grow and we're gonna get something out of this whole experiment. So I'm just gonna get started with these. I'll move the camera down and show you where I am starting them for right now. All right, so this is one of my seed starting trays. It's a 60 cell tray. It just has these little spaces for plugs. I got these from Park Seed. I'm still really new to this system. These are one of those systems that you can buy the sponges for and grow in the sponges. I am using just potting soil in mine. But as I said, I'm still getting used to this system, so I'm definitely not like fully recommending it. I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing and how I'm gonna do it. But anyways, I just filled up these little cells. I filled them pretty full because as I water them and everything, usually things do kind of compact and shift down. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough soil in here that if I water it and the soil sinks down a little bit, I will be just fine. I took my potting soil and I added a little bit of water so that it's already pre-moistened. That's always important. I've done it both ways, but you know, people do recommend that you pre-moisten your potting soil, and it's definitely for a reason. It works. It's a super good way to do it. And then I got out my labels, and I'm going to sit down right now and write out all of the labels for these plants so I know it's growing. Very important step. Okay, so now I wrote out all my labels and I kind of figured out where I want things in here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I found these markers and labels just on Amazon. I use a Sharpie a lot, but it can wear off. And so it's nice if you can find a marker that's like a waterproof marker. Works really well to keep your labels from washing away. So let's get started with Cactus Mix and see how this looks. I'm so interested to see how the cactus seeds look. Oh my goodness. Okay, they're just tiny little seeds. It's not a whole lot to see there, just tiny little seeds. I'm gonna, oh my gosh, should I do one or two? I'm gonna do two in a couple and then just one in one of them. And they say to sow on the surface with these. You don't need to put any soil over them. 1, 2. Oh, that guy got 2 and 3. You almost need like tweezers or something to plant some of these seeds, but I'm really making an effort this year that I don't overseed things. I have such a hard time with overseeding. As you can see with the polka dot, it's just really cute little seeds. Usually I like chronically overseed, and I'm trying my best not to waste seed. Sometimes, you know, you just need to throw things in and move on, but this year, if I can, I'm going to just be really careful. And again, these are ones that I'm gonna surface sow, so I didn't need to put any soil over them. And then I'll just mist all of this when I'm done, and then put, there's a cover that goes on here. Okay, now we're gonna do the coffee. Well, I think I know what a coffee bean looks like for sure. Oh, interesting. I definitely was expecting, I guess, what a roasted coffee bean looks like, but these are green. So obviously they have not been roasted or anything like that. I mean, that makes sense. And I'm gonna see if there's any instructions I need to do. Okay. 2 to 6 months to germinate. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to be really patient with these. That's gonna be a long wait. I'm glad I got them started in January. See, sometimes seed starting in January is a good idea. I'm gonna put a little bit more soil on top of those. The rule of thumb usually with seeds is you plant them as deep as they are big, and these say 1/2 inch deep. So there we go. Got those nice and covered. Okay, next we're going to do the pink bananas. And these, they actually said to soak before you planted them. And I totally forgot to do that. And now I'm wondering, should I soak them? That is a huge banana seed. That is not what seeds look like in my bananas that I get from the grocery store. How interesting. Okay, I'm actually going to follow the directions because I really want my banana plants to do well. So I'm gonna soak these for, they say 36 hours. I'm gonna go put these in a little container and soak them. All right, I'll do that in a minute. And then basil. I'm gonna do 2 plants in each, actually 3. 3 seeds in each of these cells. Basil is one that you could definitely plant. Like, you could just get a pot with potting soil and sprinkle these pretty heavily, and you would get a container that looks more like, you know, those containers that you see when you go to the grocery store and they have like the pot of basil. You definitely would need to use a few more seeds, but for this purpose, I'm just gonna do a couple because I just want like a cute little plant. I don't need a huge basil plant. All right, there we go. All planted. All right, so I'm going to go put those banana seeds in some warm water, let them soak for 36 hours, and then I'll pop them into their little spot here. And the rest of these, I'm just gonna mist in with a mister. I'm gonna put their lid on and get them set up in my little seed starting room, which is really just my master bathroom. Because again, cats, toddlers, you know, gotta keep the seedlings safe. But I'm gonna just kind of keep an eye on these and keep them watered. I will water from the base after I've done misting them in on the top. Then I'll just put some water in here regularly to water them from underneath, and I'll keep you posted. I'll definitely post some updates on Instagram as we go along, and just excited to see what happens. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you later.